friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're ready to sew the Be Confident top or skirt. I'm actually doing the top tunic option. I'm trying to think of the word today. So that's what we're doing, and I'm really excited because it's super cute and it's super easy. So we're gonna be doing that together. But before we get started, let me remind you of our fun fan giveaway, a $50 Ellie and Matt gift certificate, and all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and comment below. That's it. Mind blown. Comment below, subscribe, comment below, and you will be entered for a random giveaway. So right now, you got some time. I'm giving you a few seconds. Pause it. You already subscribed? Okay. All right, so now we can move on. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna get started, and as usual, I already cut out my pattern, and it is ready for sewing. So we're gonna get started. So I've got my skirt, and here's my beautiful skirt. I'm using this leopard knit. Look at how beautiful this is. I'm so excited. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one of our skirts right side up. Here's my edges, my sides of my skirt. Putting this kind of to the side right there. Okay, there's my two sides. And I'm gonna grab the other part of my skirt and I put it right on top of it, right sides together. Add those edges touching. Okay, so I'm opening it, putting it right sides together right here. And I'm going to match up those two raw edges together. Again, that's right sides together. I don't think you can tell on the camera that this is the wrong side of this fabric, but this is the wrong side. It looks a little bit different live. See how much vibrant that looks on the right side? So there we go. We're matching those two together at the raw edge, and we're going to go ahead and sew those two sides together. I am going to be using my serger. If you have a serger, obviously you can use a serger, or if you want to use stretch stitch on your sewing machine, that will work just fine. What I will tell you is, if you're going to use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, you can look and see with a scrap piece of fabric that you're going to be using for this project and see which stretch stitch gives you the best stretch, if it's zigzag or whatever, and then we'll sew that raw edge. Now we're going to the other one. Make sure you sewed both of the sides together, and always kind of go back and check, make sure they caught. Sometimes I'll be talking to you all and get sidetracked, and then I end up with not having it all done. So you want to make sure it's all done. Okay, next step, and I'm going to show you what to do. So here's my skirt already sewn together. Ooh, ooh. But I'm going to show you what to do, but I'm not going to do it right now because it will take a while. You will grab your skirt and you will do 1/2 inch allowance, and we're going to go ahead and hem. So you go 1/2 inch allowance all the way around the skirt. When I get around the circle, I just pull a little bit on my skirt down, and it helps that seam allowance. So as I'm going around, I'm kind of pulling a little bit as I'm folding, and you're going to go ahead and hem. I am not going to hem at the moment. I'm just going to leave that for my last step, but I just wanted to show you, if you wanted to go ahead and get that done now, you can go ahead and hem. So that's my hem area right there. Okay, now I'm gonna put my skirt aside. I'm gonna grab my top, my front, my bodice. Sorry, blah 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 blah. I got my bodice. I got my front. I put it right side up on my mat. I'm grab my back. I'm put it right side down on top of it at the shoulder seams. So we're gonna match up those shoulder seams. You see those shoulder seams right there. And we're going to sew those together, as well as our side seams. You're going to match up. You can go ahead and do it all at once. Get it all done. That was for like a joke, right? I didn't have a joke. So there were 2 balloons in the desert, and one balloon says to the other, watch out for the balloon. Watch out for the cactus. Watch out for the balloon. I can't even deliver a joke correctly. Watch out for the cactus. And the other balloon says, what cactus? Get it? Get it? Now I can do it. There you go. That was my son's joke. So good. All right, I'm going to be sewing those sides and the shoulder seams together. Again, I'm using my serger, but either the stretch stitch will be just fine. I like to put my pins kind of farther away from my edge. So here's my edge, here's my pin, because then I don't have to move it as I'm sewing it on. It doesn't work for every fabric. Some fabrics you have to put the pin right next to it because it's like, I'm not gonna stay. But for some fabrics it works, and the ones that work I love, and I'm faithful to them. I come back to them every time because they're helpful to me. Because I'm lazy. So I want to find the easiest fabric to sew with. All right, now that my sides are sewn and my seams, side seams and shoulder seams are sewn. We got this little tank now. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to turn it right side out. Here's my right side. You can kind of see a difference. It's lighter on the inside, darker on the outside, like the pigments. Okay. Now we're gonna band everything. We've got bands for the neck and bands for the armbands. Bands, bands, bands. I already treated a couple of my bands. I treated them. I got them ready. So I'm gonna grab one of my bands, and you're gonna do this to all 3 of them, okay? So here's my band. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it wrong sides together at the middle and steam. And usually we do this after we sew it in around, but I found that it's easier to do this way. Somebody gave me this advice and I'm like, awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna open it up, but now I have that crease right there for memory crease. I'm gonna grab those 2 raw edges and meet them together, and I'm gonna sew at the raw edge. Okay, now that I've sewn at the raw edge, get rid of the trimmings, and I'm gonna fold wrong sides together. And now that I have that crease already made, it's super easy. Super, hyper, mega easy. Super, hyper, mega easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. So easy. Okay, so here's my seam on this side, and I'm going to the front, and that's my half. And usually I like to take like a little tiny clip, but really with this knit that I have right now, it's so bumpy and holy and everything that I might be able to see it, but I might not, so I'm just pinning just in case. I'm meaning the front and the back, and then I'm going to the sides, and those are my quarters. And that is where I mark again. It's the mail. I wonder if I got some fabric. Do you sometimes like order and you don't even remember if you ordered or not, so you don't even realize like, am I getting stuff today? Guilty. Sometimes. Not all the time. I'm not that bad. I mean, I don't get a package every day. I wish, but when I do get a package, it's like, Christmas! Okay, I am singing a lot today. I don't know why. Okay, grabbing my shoulder seams. Here are my shoulder seams. Shoulder seams at the top. I'm putting them together. Going to the front. Front. And that is where my front is going to be. Going to the back. That is where my back is going to be. Mark it. Going to meet the front and the back together. And I'm going to the one side. That's 1/4. I'm going to the other side. That's another 1/4. Don't go by your shoulder seams. Your shoulder seams are not your quarters. If you go by your shoulder seams, you're going to get the band on unevenly, and it's going to look all wonky. You don't want that. So measure it. Do the extra mile. On the sleeves though, you can meet your shoulder seam and your side seam, your armpit seam together, and those are your halves, and you go to one side, there's 1/4, and then go to the other side, there's another 1/4. I'm just gonna go ahead and quarter these things now, all at the same time, so that way we can all do it all at the same time. Get going, get it all done. Splish, splash. Okay, seams together to the one side, to the left, to the right. That's it. All done, all marked. Now we're gonna grab our bands that we've already marked, pinned, gotten ready. Remember, the small, shorter ones are gonna be your 2 armbands. The longer one's gonna be your neckband, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our bodice right side out, and we're gonna grab our neckband. We'll do that one first. We're gonna find where that seam is in the back, and we're gonna put that right on that little mark that we made in the back of your top. And we're going to pin it right there because we're gonna sew it on. Then we'll go to the next mark we made, the 1/4 mark. Then we go to the front. And then we go to the next 1/4 mark. Okay, okay. Now we're gonna do the same for the sleeves. We're gonna grab our sleeve cuff thingy band, and I put my seam at the armpit seam just because that's the bottom, so I'm like, we'll just put it down there. You won't be able to see it unless I raise my armpit and show you. My arm, raise my armpit? What? That doesn't even make sense. And I'm matching all those 1/4 points. Raise my armpit. How do I raise my armpit? Raise armpit. Okay, and the seam. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like a little bit crazy today. This focus on the sewing at hand. I'm meeting those 1/4 pieces, and I am going to sew them together on the next step. But first, I am going to do the same thing to the other band. I'm meeting them at the raw edges. I'm trying to be professional. Y'all, I'm trying to be professional. Let me be professional. Okay, almost there. I think it's like when I'm doing something like that, I can't have like the awkward silence. Awkward. That's not me. I can't. I go somewhere with somebody gives me a ride, and I talk the whole way, and they're like, oh my goodness, please don't ever call me for a ride again. Yeah, I can't have awkward silence. Okay, bands are pinned on. So now we're gonna sew them on. Okay, I always start at the back because I want any kind of seams that are gonna be in this thing, they're all gonna be in the back where you can barely see them. My hair can cover them. People don't usually turn you around and say, let me see that seam. So we put them in the back and hide them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna I always put my band face up. I want to see how much of my band I'm going to eat. I don't want to eat very much of it, so I want it to be face up. I'm gonna grab my next 1/4. So I start right here, my first 1/4. I'm gonna sew a little tiny bit so my band doesn't come crawling out. I'm gonna grab my next 1/4. I use my ring finger and my thumb, and I grab my fabric with that. Then I use my index finger and my middle finger, and I grab the front of the fabric, like the farther up fabric, and that's how I guide my fabric. And then I use this hand and I move my fabric. Like, this is the way you're supposed to go. I guide it with this hand. So that's what we're doing. We're going. Make sure you're catching all 3 layers of your fabric, nothing more, nothing less. You have to stretch the band a tiny bit to match the collar. I make sure I take it easy, and you do it by quarters. So every 1/4 I'm stopping, I'm picking up the next 1/4, and I am getting it ready again. One more 1/4 with my neckband. Neckband is on. Doing the same same thing to my armband. I start at the armpit, at the bottom where that I put that seam. Remove my pins. Do not run over your pins. They might poke your eye. The other day, I was sewing and I got, my fabric was, I guess, too thick. I don't know what happened. My needle broke and it went flying. It hit me on my forehead. I was so glad. I was just glad it didn't hit my eyeball. That would have been awful. That was so scary. It's like a scary sewing scary movie. Scary sewing movie. So a scary movie. The eye needle. I don't even know what I would call it. The needle. The eye. I don't know. Not fun. It was so scary. I'm like. Didn't keep me from sewing again. Here we go. Last band. I'm screaming like y'all can't hear me. Last band! So across the street, they're building a house. You all, I'm serious. If you watch my videos, they've been building in this neighborhood like for my whole life. My whole life, they've been building here. And so, they're building, and I wonder, okay, my windows are open, and I always wonder, like, do they see me sewing in here, talking to myself, and they're like, what is the crazy lady doing? And then they probably hear me yelling, and they're like, If they only knew, right? I am crazy. Okay, all done. Bands are done. Now we're gonna go ahead and steam them. Okay, when you're steaming bands, always steam all the serge edge to the correct, to the blah 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 blah. Hope you understood that. To the side that you want. Okay, so if you have your band facing down, like towards the bodice, have all of it going towards the bodice. Don't have some going up, some going down, some going up, some going down, because then it will make your band look wobbly. You want the band to all be facing the same way, okay? So if my seam, if I made it face down towards the bodice, you want all of it to be face down towards the bodice, okay? If I'm making it face up, you want all of it to be faced up, okay? Bodice is done. It's like a little crop top. So cute. Now, if you're doing clear elastic, this fabric is thin. I am doing the top version, so it's shorter. I'm not doing the long version. The reason why we do the clear elastic is because it gives it more stability. Woo. It gives it more stability, so yeah, I just broke that one because my iron was on it. Okay, it gives it more stability. So you want it to be, so the skirt doesn't weigh your dress down and you're like, eh. So it gives it like stability right there. So if you're going to do that, what you would do is you grab your bodice right at the hem line, at the edge, and you would put the elastic right up to the edge, coming from this side right here, right to the edge, wrong side, and you're gonna zigzag stitch that on. Like I said, I'm not doing it. I hate clear elastic. I find it kind of itchy on me. So if I can get away with not using clear elastic, I will not use it. I'll use it on heavier fabrics. I'll use it on longer dresses if I'm making a long dress, if I'm using heavier fabrics, but I always try to not use it. But if you are using it, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So you would do it right now. Since I'm not, we're moving on to the next step. If you did do that, pause it right now. Attach that on, zigzag stitch it at the edge. And then now, when you're done, you're gonna grab your skirt. I'm gonna grab my two seams and put them together. I'm gonna go towards the front I'm just gonna quarter it just because I like to do that. I wanna make sure I did it, but it shouldn't even need to quarter it, but I am doing it anyway. I'm gonna do the same thing for my top. I'm gonna meet the sides and I'm gonna go to the front and quarter, and I'm gonna go to the back and quarter. Okay. This is my front of my bodice. It's up. You can't tell. You can see it kind of right here. It's the lower neckline is the front. I'm gonna grab my skirt. If you can see, the front is the lower on it. See that? So the front, I'm going to put it right on top, right sides together with the front of my bodice. So I'm putting right sides together with the front of my bodice. I just lost the pin and I'm about to probably step on it in a minute. Then I'm going to go around. So what I'm doing is I'm going to tuck my bodice into my skirt. So I kind of showed you wrong because now I'm going to tip my skirt over. See that? This is my skirt. It's wrong sides. My skirt is inside out and then my bodice is right side inside of it. So I'm matching those points that I just matched and at the raw edge. Seams to seams. Those points I just matched, the front and the back to each other. Right sides touching, raw edge touching. And again, you want the short to be in the front and the longer to be in the back. So there it is. Now they are attached, not attached, they're pinned, and this pin came off. So I'm gonna put it on again. This is why I notch, because this pin came off, and if I wouldn't have notched, I wouldn't have been able to see where does it belong. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with the back. So obviously the longer part is the back. This is the front up here. So I'm gonna start at this back here, back, 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 and I'm gonna sew it together. And they should just fit. Da-da-da. Almost done with this top. All right, here's my quarter part. I'm just meeting them together, raw edges. So. All right, next quarter, I'm turning. Here's my next quarter, meeting them together, raw edges. So. Next one, same deal. Ow, I just pinned myself. It's okay, show must go on. Hopefully I'm not bleeding all over my clothes. And here we go. It wasn't that bad. Pin wasn't that bad. Make sure you're moving the skirt out of the way as you're sewing it on. You don't want to catch the skirt underneath and end up sewing it to the other part of the skirt. Alright. Now we're going to turn it right side out. And our top is done. Yes! How amazing is this top? I am in love. I love leopard. I love this fabric, so I love this top. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm gonna steam it. And we are done. The only thing I have to do is I'm gonna go back and hem my skirt, and that is it. We are done. And honestly, if you're using knit fabric, which you're supposed to, a lot of it, you don't even have to hem. It's up to you. I won't tell anyone if you don't hem it. But that's it. I am done. I finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything I did or didn't do, or you wish I had, or you wish I would have said, or you wish I wouldn't have said. Tell me any jokes, corny jokes you have. I need more. My son is always asking me for jokes, and I give him the same joke every time, and he thinks it's hilarious, so it's like our thing now, but I would be nice to have some new ones. If you're not part of our Facebook or Instagram page, please, please, please come join us. We'd love to have you. We want to see what you're sewing. We want you to be inspired by other amazing people out there sewing some amazing creations. And we want you to buy all the patterns. So yeah, come look at them. They're awesome. Comment, like, share. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, comment, and you'll be entered for a random giveaway where you can earn money to buy all these awesome patterns. also have sew-alongs on our Facebook page where we win awesome prizes. So just come join us. It's just all around a fun page. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.